Let's get your quick outlook on demand, input costs and commodity prices. What looks the most challenging in the near to medium term?
Yeah, so very good morning. Happy to be here. I think the good thing first, I think India from a demand perspective looks very strong. This year, the steel consumption in India should be in the vicinity of 135 million ton, which is a growth of close to 15% for the year. In the medium term, as the economy grows robustly, we expect that an 8 to 10% growth in steel consumption in India is very much possible. And that would drive the demand of steel and therefore the capacity increases in India. From a challenge perspective, I think what we need to be conscious about as the global economy has its own set of challenges, although it has been more resilient than what was anticipated earlier. Interest rates are now likely to fall, and that would aid the consumption and the growth at large. However, exports emanating out of China due to a weak economic backdrop, especially for exports of steel, has been a concern in the international market, and we continue to monitor that. The good thing is that China has announced certain incentives to prop up the economy, and we do expect that more targeted stimulus will be rolled out in this first half of this year to support the economy. That should augur well to reduce the exports emanating out of China in this calendar year.
Mr. Acharya, do you expect India to turn into an exporting nation for steel, given what you've just spoken of regarding China? Because we turned net importer last year on account of cheap China imports.
Yeah, so we are a net importer even in this 9 months, Monica, and that's not a very good situation to be in. However, if I look at the medium-term growth trajectory of India, we anticipate that by end of this decade, India would consume anywhere between 200 to 210 million tons of steel, which would mean an incremental 70 million tons odd in the next 7 years. 10 million tons per year, which is very much doable. The capacities which would come up in India would primarily be to meet the domestic demand. We do see direct exports from India moderating, and there is a potential to improve our engineering exports from India because there's an opportunity because of the supply chain diversification on countries looking to diversify themselves beyond China as well. There is a good opportunity for India to play a role in the engineering exports. So I believe the engineering exports from India will go up, and exports of steel, direct steel over a period of time will moderate.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of follow-up questions on the international situation. Any supply disruptions because of the impact of disruptions in the Red Sea route?
Not so far, Monica. We have seen, I would divide this into 2 parts. One is the break bulk shipment, which is the bigger cargoes. We do not see much impact on that. There are some shipping companies which are rerouting via the Cape of Good Hope, which takes a little longer, a few days longer, but that's acceptable. There is no disruption as such. On the container side, which is primarily for exports emanating out of India to go to smaller locations within the world, there is an impact on container shipments, and that I think the costs and the prices for the container shipments have gone up. In India, at JSW, we are re-strategizing to see how we can improve and do the shipments more in break bulk. It's a short-term kind of an impact. We'll watch the situation as it unfolds in the Red Sea.
Any numbers that you can share in terms of the impact on this quarter that's underway?
Difficult to share a number, but what I would like to say is that there are pressures on the cost because the raw materials are up. Both coking coal and iron ore internationally are at elevated levels. Internationally, the good thing is that global steel prices have responded. They have gone up. US, Europe, most of the developed nations, and in China as well. That would offset the price increase, the cost increase to some extent. In India, we are also seeing a good seasonally strong quarter, and that should do well in terms of volume. that would offset some part of the cost impact on absolute terms. So we are hopeful that we will be able to meet the guidance which we have given to the street, both from a production and from a sales standpoint.
Okay, one quick final question, Mr. Acharya. You were looking for international coal assets. Unfortunately, the tech deal didn't go your way. Do you continue that hunt? Are you anywhere close to an acquisition?
Yeah, we continue our efforts to look for coking coal assets, especially the hard coking coal, which would be available in different parts of the world. That hunt is on. We are also developing coking coal assets in India. We have recently been awarded 2 mines in India, which we would look to develop in the next year, year and a half. And our efforts are continuing to look at international assets, which we can acquire to blend coking coal into our...
Are you close to any purchase?
Not as yet.
Are you close to any purchase, Mr. Acharya?
Not yet. We continue to look at assets.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.